Hello loves, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a Archangel Michael protection spell. This is technically a little bit of a deconstructed version of the spell, a tad bit. The only reason I'm saying deconstructed is because usually this would be done a little bit differently. With the cup, it would be flipped upside down, but because the way I have my Archangel Michael altar set up, since it's by the door, sometimes the door slams and it kind of shakes everything, and sometimes like, you know, like I just don't want anything to get spilled, because like my goal is not to spill anything. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys how I'm doing this. This is very, very simple. This can be considered an, you know, Archangel Michael revocación, a revocation specifically to revoke any negative energies, for protection, and to send back away any, you know, low vibrational energies. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing the spell. It is very, very simple, and you don't need too many things to do it either. So first and foremost, these are the ingredients that I'm going to use, and I'm going to kind of swap a couple of things as well, but I'm going to be using Anil. These are the blue Anil balls, and I'm gonna first add that in there. This is really amazing for protection work and to basically absorb any negative energies. I'm also going to be using alum, and I'm just going to put the rest of it in there, and I'm going to let that, it's going to start kind of bleeding out the color in here, and kind of just spreading it about. So I'm going to let that happen, and while that's happening, I'm going to keep grinding up my, this is Cascadia. See, I don't know if you guys see it, it's a little smoky, but I did some homemade Cascadia powder because I ran out in my other one, and I, you know, had the eggshells, so I just made it myself. And so I am going to just make sure it's nicely grinded up, and then, oh, I'm sorry, I shook it. And then I'm gonna take a nice scoop of this and put it in here. The Cascadia is gonna serve as protective, and it's going to help cleanse the energies as well. All of these ingredients help to cleanse, and that's really why we're doing it this way. We're trying to reset the energies, we're trying to cleanse away the energies. And because I ran out of Camphor, I'm going to be using Vicks Vapor Rub, because it actually is made with Camphor if you look at the ingredients. So I'm just going to be using literally the tiniest bits, like that much. You see that much in here? Because sometimes you have to improvise, y'all. I like ran out. I do this like pretty regularly for Archangel Michael, so I don't want I kind of used all the Camphor, but it's fine. We will improvise. But this is just going to be absorbing all of the negative vibrations specifically. I just came back from my sister's house. I told you guys I was visiting over there. Last month was really crazy, like deaths in the family, Luna passed. It was like very chaotic at some points, so I wanted to kind of just make sure that I was coming home and the energies were gonna be good, basically. So as the blue, you see how it's kind of a little bit light blue? Let me just move this over so you can see it. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a mix, because I want it to be mixed. And basically this is gonna stay on Archangel Michael's altar for, I'm gonna leave it for 9 days, because that is a number that he is giving me. So I'm gonna leave it for 9 days. I'm just mixing it well, making sure everything's like incorporated. But this combination is going to basically absorb the negative energies, and it's basically what it forms is kind of like a sponge. It forms a little bit of it's almost like a little bit of a trap too, because it forms a sponge. It's absorbing all of the negative vibrations, and at the same time it's basically capturing everything in the glass. And this gets done for 9 days because you want to see how it, you know, I personally read this throughout the 9 days, so I'm not going to change this for the 9 days, but there will be an offertory candle that is done for the 9 days. Just mixing it. Mixing it. Setting my intention for what I wanted to do. Okay. The blue is still gonna kind of like start coming out. And what I'm going to do is that every single day I'm going to be lighting a white candle for Archangel Michael on his altar space. This is going to be done for 9 days consecutively, and not only, like, if there's wax that spills over, this usually burns through all the way, but if there's any wax that spills over, I'm going to be reading that like, as you know, any additional messages, but I'm also going to be reading the glass. So this is going to stay here for the 9 days straight. And it's just gonna stay in the altar for 9 days straight. But the candle is what's gonna get changed. Like, I will do a candle every single morning for 9 days, and I will say my Archangel Michael prayer. So you can use any prayer for this. You can do this specific work for quite a bit of different, you know, spirits. You can do this work for. This is traditionally done in different areas, like from hoodoo to like espiritismo, santeria. There's like different times that this is kind of done, but I needed to do it, so that's why I'm like, it's getting all mixed in here. Okay. So now that that's all well and good, let me see if I can mix the Vicks Vapor up a little bit more. I need to, the next time I go to the Botanica, I'm gonna grab some Camphor, because I definitely ran out, and I want to make sure that I'm good to go. So you're mixing, make sure you've got it mixed well. Once you're kind of ready, what I like to do is, you know, because I have pets in the house, obviously I have Pink in the house, I am going to put, this is like a canning jar lid, and I'm just gonna like kind of like put it on top like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the altar space, and I'm gonna light this candle as an offering for Archangel Michael. I'm going to put 3 pennies every single day for 9 days, so they're gonna multiply, but this is my offering and my payment for the protection work. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to read the glass itself. So as the days goes by, you see how it's still kind of bubbling? You should be able to see that kind of bubbling, because the Anil is still kind of destructuring itself in the water, and it's still kind of oozing out. It's kind of like baking soda and vinegar a little bit, and so it's still kind of oozing out. But what it's going to do is going to create this sponge that is going to absorb the any negative energies, any low vibrational energies, any kind of anything that's going on. And then what I'm going to do is, because what's going to happen is that it's going to start settling as well, and it's going to start separating. So what I like to do is read in between the water and the base of it, because there's a lot of shapes that come up, and you guys know that I like to, you know, read. I like to read my teas, I like to read my coffee, I like to read everything. So I like to read these too. I read my glasses, my offerings, depending on what I'm using it for. I always like to read like what's going on. So I'm gonna do that today as well, and I'm gonna be doing it throughout the week. But I just wanted to show you guys, this is really easy, something that you can do very, very easily, and it works very well. It's very easy to do. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this. I hope that, you know, it helps you guys protect your home and keep any low vibrational energies at bay. This also helps you with your own energy, and this is kind of why I have been doing this pretty regularly, because I find that it helps me reset my own spiritual body and kind of just work on my own energies, like absorbing any negativity that I may have as well. It's always important to remember that you're not the only one. You know, it's not always other people, okay? It's not always other people coming for you, doing the most, trying to attack you, all this stuff. Sometimes we hex ourselves, guys. Sometimes we do the most for ourselves, and we really make it like 10 times harder than it needed to be. Wow, that plane sounds very close. Sometimes we do the most for ourselves, and then it makes it 10 times harder than it needed to be. So we have to be realistic, and sometimes we need to make sure that our own energies are not staying within our physical body, because that just is going to cause a lot of chaos. So yeah, so basically what I'm doing now is that I'm taking agua de ruda, this rue water, and I'm just cleansing my candle, and I'm just gonna light it for Archangel Michael. And this would also be a great time if you wanted to do any type of flame work, to read the flame, to study the flame, especially if there's anything in the house. Maybe there's a spirit in the house that you're like confused about, you don't understand what's going on. This is a good time if you wanted to read the flame and get any additional messages. You can do that. Wait, I always dip it at the bottom, because this is like a skinny candle, so it always, oh, just turned off. It always kind of folds over itself, so I want to make sure I get the base. Let me just light it 1 second, and there we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a nice coat of wax at the bottom, and then I'm gonna put the candle on the altar. But you see how it's still bubbling? It's still gonna do that. You can find the Anil balls in the Botanica. You can find Alum in the Botanica, but you can also find it in like supermarkets and grocery stores. Good, because it's just used for so many things, but it's really, really great for cleansing and protection work in the home, and just reset the energies. Okay, I think I have a nice base of wax in there. Okay, let me just, ooh, there we go. Give that a second, and then there we go. It should be good to go. Okay, so I'm gonna close this. Oh, I'm gonna close this up. And so Archangel Michael's gonna get 3 pennies a day for the work that, you know, he's doing. And I'm gonna go ahead and put all of the stuff on the altar space. Just give this one last good mix. But this is a really good time if you wanted to practice like reading different shapes and reading different things in the water. This is a really good way to train yourself outside from doing it with herbs and teas and coffees and reading like coffee grounds or tea leaves and stuff like that. This is a good way to train yourself too, because you're able to kind of study the shapes. And then once you advance into reading water, which can be very advanced depending on, you know, who you are, because not everybody is well versed in reading the water itself. It kind of trains you to kind of look for certain things in there, and it just keeps like your focus in there. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this spell. I hope that it was helpful. Definitely like let me know in the comments if you're gonna try it, or if you tried it before, because I know there's a variation of this where you put a plate on top here and then you flip it over and you put the candle on the base. That's one of the ways that this is done, but because the way of my altar is set up, I don't want anything to fall. I'm doing it this way, which is fine. It works too. Archangel Michael knows the work that I'm trying to do, so you know it's all in a day's work. But it's all for just removing and cleansing away any negative energies. Since I just came back, in addition to doing this, I am going to just be, you know, going and smoke cleansing the house, just to make sure, you know, everything's good, since I've been away. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and yeah, I'm just gonna be finish editing some things for you guys, and you guys are gonna get those soon. We will be having our weekly healing circle tomorrow because since I just came home today, I did not have the time to do it all, but we're gonna do it tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the link. And we still have quite a bit of things going on. I have the Akashic Records 5-hour intensive on Thursday, so that's gonna be cool. But I'm still sending out and shipping out orders, so also stay tuned for that. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the support and all of the love and just literally everything. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I will see you loves in the next video. Bye.